Okay, so today we continue with our Kitzur class. Today is class number 27, and we start with Sefer Hafetz Chaim. The big topic is the same, Lashon Hara of harmful speech. Today's topic is public knowledge but harmful. Okay, go ahead.
We have seen that it is forbidden to speak in a derogatory manner, even if the information being conveyed was already known to the listener. This is because the act of speaking of it negatively is inherently wrong.
So basically, everybody knows. Everybody. It's like you're not adding something to the news. Still forbidden.
Mm-hmm. Conversely, it stands to reason that a non-derogatory but potentially harmful statement can be made in the presence of anyone who is already aware of the information, unless the speaker emphasizes some point the listener may not have realized previously. This is because the statement will not cause for any harm which otherwise would not have come about.
So what do you say? What do you say about this? Any comments about?
Okay. You're asking me. It's basically saying if a comment is, let's say, objectively, most of the time it's not even supposed to be derogatory. The comment isn't derogatory at all, and you tell it to someone else, you're allowed to say it if they already knew that information, and you know they're not going to take it as derogatory unless you specify something that you didn't specify before, and they might have the thought that it's derogatory.
Okay.
Rambam takes this step further, stating that if a potentially harmful statement was made in the presence of three people, three are permitted to relate the information in conversation with others. This is because each of the three can assume that the other two will probably make the information public anyway. However, this would not be permissible if either one of the three is known to be discreet or especially careful regarding the laws of forbidden speech, or the person's intent in relaying the information is to publicize the matter yet further.
So basically, if you tell something to three people, it's a guarantee everybody would find out.
Mm-hmm.
At least one of them or two of them are going to speak. Okay.
According to Hafetz Chaim, Rambam permits any of the three to repeat the information, even if it is derogatory.
Okay, so we have page 46. Huh? Page 46. No. We continue. We go on page 46.
Forest body.
It says 46.
Understood.
So on top.
1 second. The Hafetz Chaim fails to find justification for such leniency. Furthermore, he discourages reliance on Rambam's opinion with regard to Lashon Hara, spoken in the presence of three, as most other commentators seem to disagree with this ruling. Thus, one should never relate derogatory information even when it is related to three or more listeners.
Okay, so very clear. So be careful, basically.
Okay.
All right. So let's go to our Kitzur Shulchan and we continue knowing the laws of tefillin. So we're on Siman 10, CF number 20. Okay. So it says tefillin should be removed while standing. So now we will remove tefillin. So while standing, one first remove there is unwind the straps that were wound around the finger. The two or three of the wounds, and the two or three of the seven revolutions that was wrapped around his arm. So commentaries say, and we're going to explain number 4. According to Mishnah Brura, one removes only the three revolutions that are around the middle finger, and then removes the shel rosh. So that's actually what we do. So we remove. It's exactly the same way, when we remove we remove in opposite sequence that what we put in. So you first remove all of these straps extra that you wound around your hand. then from the finger, and then you do shel rosh. Then he removes shel rosh first, and afterwards removes shel yad, due to the verse in Dvarim 6:8 that states, "And let them be tefillin between your eyes." From the fact that the verse writes the word vehayu, let them, in plural, the sages expounded that the verse to teach that where the tefillin are between your eyes, there shall be two tefillin be worn. So when so it's very interesting. So from plural, they say when you have this head tefillin, it should be plural, meaning two of them, shel yad and shel rosh, right? There is both shel yad and shel rosh. Okay, so meaning that when you remove shel rosh, so it should be shel yad. Like now we're going to single mode. Therefore, shel yad is put first, and shel rosh is removed first. So basically, in the opposite order that we put it on. In this way, whenever the shel rosh is upon the person, shel yad will also be upon him. So always, right? So, okay, if you have shel rosh, it must be you must have shel yad. I mean, unless, as we said, the person has some injury and stuff like that, he cannot put shel yad, so he puts on the shel rosh. The shel rosh should be removed with the left hand, which is weaker arm. Commentary: thus the left-handed person should remove with the right hand. So like you show it with your left hand because you show that like you don't want to do it, basically. Which is weaker arm, in order to show that it is difficult for him to have it removed. I mean, I have to do it. Of course, it's easy for me to do it with my right hand, with my stronger hand, but I don't want to like disconnect from this mitzvah, but I must, so I do with my left hand. Because in truth, the optimal form of the mitzvah is for tefillin to be worn the entire day. Okay, and it is only because it is difficult to maintain clean body, as we're going to learn about what is clean body means, that one removes them immediately after Shacharis prayer. Okay, so basically allowed properly the whole day, but I mean you cannot work with them and stuff like that. But I mean, if somebody can work with the tefillin, but they say he would divert his attention, so it's not, so it's better to take it off. A person may not remove his tefillin neither before the Sefer Torah nor before the primary Torah teacher, and that's the problem that I saw in all of the shuls, and even in this shul that I go to now. So there is one person. So he sits in the first row, not in the second, in the first row. So when they start like Chagba and do like Chagba, I mean the lifting of the Torah, he takes off tefillin. You understand? Right in front. He's supposed to be a knowledgeable person, so he's not an ignorant person for sure. There is okay, so who is this teacher, right? There is a teacher from whom he has learned most of the Torah knowledge. So Sefer Torah and teacher and Torah teacher, in this sense, it's exactly the same status. The process of taking off the shel rosh usually includes bearing one's head. And it is disrespectful to do this before the Sefer Torah, or the one the Torah teacher. So you see that they have different explanation. The commentary is: it is permitted to remove shel yad, even in these circumstances. In addition, it is permitted to remove the shel rosh if his head is covered by talis. Okay, so it's very interesting. So they say here, even in front of Torah. So somehow I thought that it's not disrespect to the Torah. In Torah it says ver tefillin, and you actually in front of the Torah, you remove it. Okay, so but they say that so basically, if the guy have a like little kippah, so he puts tefillin around the kippah, so it would not be a problem according to this, because he does not bear the head. Okay, in such a case, he should rather go off to the side, exactly, and remove them there. So basically, go to the ladies section, go to the step out, and that's it. It is a custom of scholars to kiss the tefillin at the time when they are donned and at the time of their remove. But I always kiss tefillin. I'm not a scholar, but I always kiss tefillin, and that's a minhag of, I think everybody does it. One should not remove the talis until the tefillin has been removed. So it's very important. So basically, you do it in a reverse order. So and talis, it's like the more garments you have, the more it's like kavod to the tefillin. Okay, so we finish 20. So we go to 21, and it says, upon removing the tefillin, one should put the tefillin in a pouch in the way that it was that he will know the next day to take it out shaliyat first. So just my advice, just remember, whatever is easier for you. For me, I keep it from the right side always. I've been doing it for like so many years. So I just automatically, right? I do it on the right side, and when I open the zipper, so it is right there. Okay. So minimum when you put it in the pouch, pay attention what are you doing. Since the shell yad is also put on first, it is important to encounter the shell yad first, so that the one will not remove, will not have to bypass the shell rosh, in order to put shell yad first. Okay. So that basically, as we said, it's not proper to bypass mitzvah, but if I know it's in my right corner, so that's there is no bypassing the mitzvah. I'm going straight to that tefillin, so there is no problem, even though they're next to each other.
Wait, a question. So over here, I don't think we got to it yet, but when it says that you have to put the shell rosh side to side, you're not allowed to put the shell yad on top of the shell rosh, right?
No, but they put side to side. No, why would you put on top of it?
I know, but someone can just stuff it inside the tefillin bag. I'm just saying as an example. That's the halakha that's in my Kitzur. My question is, what about also putting the shell rosh on the right side, since the right is seen as stronger, for example, or is that?
It's up to you on what side you're going to put it. That does not make any difference. The make difference that you do not bypass. If you put it on the right side and it's more convenient to you, so somehow, I'm going to tell you what. So I have two bags, right? One bag for tefillin and one bag for talis, and one closes this way and one closes another way.
Uh-huh.
Don't ask me why. So, but that's how it was made. So I don't know. So I got so used to, so that's what I do. I put it on the right side because it closes to or opens to the left.
Got it.
You understand? Maybe if it would be opposite, I would do opposite. But that's that's what I do. The main point is to take the one the shell yad first. So commentary. The prohibition. Just let me drink some water. Sorry, I already said bracha.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, so the prohibition of passing by a mitzvah applies not only to the first time in the day that one puts on tefillin, but also when he is putting on the back after taking them off temporarily. Okay. For example, he has to go to the bathroom. When he has to go to the bathroom, he does not rub them. So when he comes back, so basically in this case, do not put one on top of the other. So basically, keep them separate. That's even when one takes the tefillin off temporarily. Care should be taken to put them down in such a way that he will encounter the shel yad before the shel rosh. Okay, so the idea is understandable. So try not to mix them. Okay, continue. However, this should not be done by putting shel yad on top of shel rosh. Okay, exactly as you said. Since the holiness of the shel rosh exceeds the shel yad, rather he should place them alongside each other. Commentary, and I have very interesting comment. So let's see. Mishnah Berurah writes, the shel yad should be placed on the right side. Okay, you see exactly as I do it. See, I don't know why I was doing it. Maybe because of this, I guess. I don't know. And slightly closer to the opening of the pouch. Or that's why the pouch opens like that. So that he will encounter it first. So like when it opens right, it's open from right to left. And that's why my tefillin first. But very interesting. I saw in Israel. It was very popular. This like tefillin and talis bag, and it was make like I don't know what do you call like an army thermos.
Uh-huh.
So it's round. And you put tefillin one on top of the other for sure. Otherwise, they're not going to fit. And talis like around.
Uh-huh.
It's like this big, like different styles and stuff. So in this case, for sure, that's how they would. But that's the problem. That's exactly the problem. They would put one on top of the other. They cannot put shel yad on shel rosh, right?
Uh-huh.
I don't know, but okay. So I haven't seen no religious Haredim doing this. They would not use this kind of bag, but all of these more modern people would use it. Okay, continue. Very interesting. So so for them maybe it's cool thing, maybe this and that, but it's I'm just thinking about it. There is no way. It's not that big. There is no way to put it like them side by side. Okay. The pouch, the pouch with which tefillin should be placed deep inside, toward the back of the talis bag. Deep inside the back of the talis bag. The talis should be toward the front, so that he should encounter the talis first up on the opening. Okay, that's what we do. So the talis you put on first, so you don't want to bypass tefillin. So as we said before, if he takes tefillin out, I mean he's talking to somebody, right? Whatever. So he has to put tefillin first. So that's why we put talis like closer to the end, to the top. So you always take the talis first. Okay. So next halacha, number 22. It is of primary importance that tefillin be worn at minimum during the recitation of Shema and Shmona Esrei. Okay, so we're going to get to it. One should, so that's minimum requirement, Shema and Shmona Esrei. One should recite Shema and does not wear one who recites Shema and does not wear his tefillin at the time without cause, meaning whenever he had tefillin, he decided to do without it, is considered as testifying falsely. Brachas 14b. Why? He testifies the command of don't tefillin with his recitation of the Shema, but he asks if the commandment does not obligate him. I mean, he say in the Shema we say about tefillin. but he does not fill in more, right? That's a big problem. The proper mode of prayer, in just 1 second, in which one also accepts upon himself the authority of heaven, is also fulfilled while wearing tefillin. Okay, so basically, so if he does not have tefillin, I don't know, for whatever reason, he is sick, he does not feel well, and he's weak, he cannot put tefillin, and he just wants to do Shema, so there is no problem. There is exception. But if he's too lazy, or for example, he came in and the congregation started praying, that would be an issue. Okay. I mean, if he's late to show. So let's see. The parameters of the obligation to tear tefillin in these times and in the subject of this sieve. Okay, so let's see. So now we're going to go to all of the different situations. A person who does not have tefillin and the congregation is praying finds himself in the following predicament. If he prays now, he will have fulfilled the obligation to pray with the congregation. Right? We have this when we spoke about this importance of prayer with congregation, right? But he will not have the recited Shema and Shemona Esrei when tefillin. On the other hand, if he waits to pray for a time when he cannot, but on the other hand, if he waits to pray for a time when he cannot, when he can borrow tefillin, he will have missed the praying with the congregation. In this case, it is better to wait until after congregation has completed prayers to borrow tefillin from another. Right? It's counterintuitive, right? So that he can recite Shema and Shemona Esrei while wearing tefillin. Then to pray with the congregation without tefillin. So it's better to wait and pray with tefillin. For example, so he's going to borrow with somebody who is praying now. He's going to finish Shemona Esrei. He's going to give him tefillin. So it's better for him to wait. However, on one who is afraid that the time in which one must recite Shema might pass before he finds tefillin, should rather recite Shema without tefillin. But, I mean, the guidance is very clear. So let me read the commentary and we're going to explain. This includes its accompanying blessing. Meaning, according to Mishnah Brura, one should also recite Shemona Esrei at this time. So basically, especially in the morning, and we're going to learn about it, that you have to join the last blessing of the Shema, which is talking about redemption from Egypt with the Shemona Esrei. It should be like a Goal Israel, so it should be, and he started praying like without any interruption. So if he afraid that that the latest time, if you have MyZmanim, if you not, you have to install MyZmanim.com, the application. So and it shows you the latest time for Shema. So if he needs, I don't know, he needs slow, whatever, he needs 7 minutes. Let's say 7 minutes to complete Shema with a blessing. So he has to, and he sees that it's not enough time. So he starts without tefillin, and then later on he can repeat Shema with tefillin. There is no problem. The first time he is trying to save, to save the mitzvah of Shema, basically. Continue. If he is afraid that the time on which one must pray Shemona Esrei may also pass before he finds tefillin, then he should pray the Shemona Esrei without tefillin. Okay, so we're going to get it. It's not. It's in CF18. Okay.
Wait, Rabbi, but what if, let's say, for the Shema, or let's say the Shemona Esrei, you have enough time to do let's say one bracha, or just to say Shema Yisrael HaShem and not the paragraphs. Then should you still wait, or should you say the Shema with the congregation?
Well, let's say in what case, when the time expires, or what is it?
I'm saying that what's better per se, to put tefillin on, and say Shema Israel, let's say, without the two paragraphs, because that's all you have time for? Or is it better to just pray with let's say pray afterwards, after the congregation ends, if you can do the whole thing?
No, do after the congregation the whole thing.
Okay.
As we said, it's very important to connect this Exodus of Egypt to the Shemona Esrei.
Got it. Okay, understood.
So it's opposite. I mean, if you pray alone, but you can answer to Kaddish, you can answer to Kiddusha, so you're good basically. You only did not pray with them. But what we discussed here is the case when the time is going to expire. So I mean, even for Shacharis, let's say the latest Shacharis, I have no idea what the time changes. Maybe let's say 10:30, 11. So if this time, let's say he said Shema before and stuff like that, and now he has tefillin, he's not that, whatever situation is. So and he does not have tefillin, so he can pray without tefillin because the time is expired. That's it. He cannot pray Shemona Esrei after a certain time.
Let's say he only has one of the tefillins. Is it better to pray with the congregation, or wait till you can have two and then pray without the congregation and have both pieces?
It's an interesting question. I would say pray with one with congregation, because it's like two independent mitzvahs. So you get two mitzvahs: pray with congregation and you have your tefillin.
Understood.
But don't like the way I see it. Like try not to confuse everybody.
Of course, of course, it's hypothetical, just in case.
Yeah, okay. Because people are people. They learn like from Rabbi Mizrahi told me many years ago. So I asked him, can I grow a beard? And he said it's not that simple. I said, what's the problem? He said people would come to you on Shabbos table and they're going to look at you whatever you do. So if you do not know halachas, you understand, they're going to learn from where they're going to learn. And so he said, make sure that you complete all of the halachas of Shabbos. You know exactly, Kitzur Shulchan Aruch minimum, that you completed this. You know about Parsha Shavua, and your wife does not mind. So if I said, well, what's the problem with the wife? No. She said, very interesting. That's not what she married to. She married to that person without beard. You understand? So she has a right to protest. That's not who I married to. So if she's okay, you can grow a beard. If you know halachas, because people are going to look, and people look. He said, no, he's very religious. I almost fell. The guy told me we were discussing the laws of Tal, stuff like that, and he said, I asked this person, elderly person, his son lives in Lakewood. I said, well, what it has to do with anything? His son may be big tzaddik. It doesn't mean that this guy knows anything. Yeah, you understand? But people draw all of these conclusions from I don't know, from nowhere.
Does the same law that applies, let's say, against making a beard? Because you said, people might get the wrong idea if you have a beard.
No. They can learn wrong things. So if you do not know what to do, don't do it.
Can you make the same argument about, let's say, dressing in a suit and looking very religious, very Haredi?
I mean, if you don't teach anybody what to do, if you just follow congregation, what exactly you can? I mean, if they come to your house and you're looking like Moshe Rabbeinu to them, so there are many people in my community who came, not even further, who came first time for Shabbos in my house, first time in their life ever. So I mean, what else they're going to learn about halas? Why they have to cover and this and that, how to wash their hands, my machronim and stuff like that. So one guy, grew up in Borough Park, and then he went a little modern and stuff like that. Yes. So we were doing my machronim, and it was not. It was in a sukkah, so it was not a holiday basically. It was Chol. So, and he said, why washing your fingers like my machronim, right? After the meal. I said, why? I said, well, I said, what do you mean? He said, but today is not Shabbos. So the guy basically, I was shocked. I looked at my wife. She looked at me. I don't know. I said, but every time you eat bread, that's what we do. It's not because Shabbos, not Shabbos. Yeah, you understand? So there is people who do not learn. They do not know. And if somebody would come to such a person on Shabbos, right? They know all of the prayers. They know things. So they would wash their hands, and then he would come to them on Thursday, and they would not wash their hands. So what does it mean? That's the proper way to do it. I mean, people are lazy.
No.
People are lazy. Then okay, so.
Wait, I have one question. So I went to this rabbi's house. He's seen as a very not prestigious, but a rabbi with a good reputation in Lakewood. Okay. Well, one of the things I noticed, which he didn't give rebuke for, maybe he gave rebuke before. So I'm just asking if the case itself, not about the rebuke, but just if itself is a problem. So let's say there's a husband and a wife, right? And like let's say they touch intentionally. Is that allowed at all?
Intentionally in public?
No, yeah, like at a Shabbos dinner.
Like she would.
Oh yeah, like yeah.
It's not proper because it's a show of affection. You understand? So if you like somebody, yeah, I'm talking about guys. Yeah, but you just like slap him a little inside. You like do like elbow. You know, because you like it's your best buddy. That shows affection even between the men. You're going to shake his hand. You know, hug him. Right? If I don't like somebody, I would not hug him. I would not even shake his hand. You understand? I would not touch him. But with my friend, I would like I don't know. So it's a show of affection, and it's absolutely not proper to do.
Is
in
it
public? When it's private, absolutely.
Of course.
That's a must. A must show that affection. Yeah.
Is it like, for example, I went to another very, very religious community, and for example, it was a wedding. Then the photographer was taking pictures. You know, everything was completely religious. You know, big strimals. So then for the pictures, you know, they were posing. And then the husband and wife, for example, were touching. So not allowed.
You see, the picture is forever, and other people are going to see it. This is not proper.
Got it.
It's not proper. So basically, many people they do not take picture with their wives. I mean, why? Like other people would see it. Why would you want to do it?
It's not. Is it allowed to, like, let's say, the woman or the husband is standing more in the back where it looks like he's hugging her. It just looks like, his not allowed.
Look, if it's not, why even pretend? Why would they pretend?
Understood.
Like
I agree.
just stay away. So you see, it's a public show. If you wanna hug him, when everybody leaves the house, hug her. She's your wife. She's permitted. She's you must love her. You must respect her and care for her 100%. But in part, it's all on a show. All of these I don't know, like all these celebrities, they whatever these they're very like whatever the way they behave on the public, they getting divorced. 2 months later, how is it possible? They have $2 million wedding. How $5 million? Well, $1 million. How is it possible? Because it's all for show. There is no inner connection. With Jewish marriage, there is inner connection, inner bond. You don't have to show the whole world.
Yeah, I was telling my mother, Bill Gates just got divorced. Like, he had $100 billion and got divorced. But people make $50K, go to kollel and support 10 kids. Happy marriage.
Yeah. And happy marriage, and kids are happy.
Of course.
And the kids are happy. And B'ezrat Hashem, when you're going to go to Jerusalem, you have to go to Miyah Shearim. it's what is Miyah sharing? It's take bara park and multiply by 100. That's Miyah sharing. And you see, like when you're in the summer, there are no air conditioners almost. Only rich people can. So basically, all of the windows are open, and you see this kitchen. There is no kitchen cabinet. There is like board, like a shelf, and there are a few pots on the shelf. It's like unbelievable. And kids, like there is no room in the house, so they're outside and they're playing with a stick, playing with this, like simple. There are no phones, like no cell phones. Nobody has cell phone. Only father and mother have cell phones. Yeah, they're so happy. It's unbelievable. So all of these materials, it cannot provide happiness for people.
Yeah.
Understand? So that's okay. So continue. So basically, okay. So don't don't rebuke that big rabbi.
Yeah.
But you can always ask him a question very politely. If you say, Rabbi, I want to learn. So I saw you touching your wife. Would it be permissible for other people also touching their wife? Is it never show affection? And see what he says.
No,
politely.
For me, it was just because it was his daughter. His daughter was touching, his daughter was touching her husband, and so so I was wondering, what is this? So. And also, it's not permissible for a girl to wear high heels either, or is it?
Of course. Why? Because like small heels, there is no problem. But the white, the tall heels.
Yeah.
It changes the way they walk. they start walking promiscuous. For sure, everybody. Like I remember, like I was little and I was trying these heels. I don't know, not my mother. I don't know. Maybe my sister. It was like this heel, like tiny heel, like 1 inch, maybe less. I don't know. I almost fell. I was a little baby. It's so inconvenient. You understand? So all right. So okay. So continue. Okay, so let's go a little back. So it says, if he is afraid that the time which one must pray Shmoneh Esrei may also pass, right, before he finds tefillin, then he should also pray Shmoneh Esrei without tefillin. Okay. Later, when he finds tefillin, he should put them on and recite appropriate blessing upon them. Okay, because as we said, you have the whole day, right, and recite psalm or pray mincha while wearing them. Okay, wearing them and commentary regarding one who obtains tefillin during the prayer. Okay, so they say see another place. Okay, no problem. 14. Okay, however, if he does not obtain the tefillin until the nightfall, he should not put them on them. For the night is not time of tefillin. So I mean, if for like, well, it's still I'm not sure if like after the sunset, I would say since it's still like a little light, so you can do, but without the blessings, just to put it on and take it off. Not in order not to miss a mitzvah. The commentary say, according to the Torah law, the mitzvah of tefillin can be fulfilled even at night. However, the sages forbade wearing tefillin at night for the fear that one may fall asleep with them, and in his sleep, not maintain the body cleanliness as required to wear tefillin. See Mishnah Berurah, Shulchan. So basically, that's based on this law, we can wear tefillin a little early, like even it says the proper time for wearing tefillin this time, but they say you can, even in the case of need, without the blessing, since some authorities do not agree. So, but you can put it even earlier than that time. And I was doing it in the shul that I used to go to the shacharis, and people like they was so meticulous, like on a second to put tefillin. But they were not so meticulous to not to talk during the Shmoneh Esrei repetition of Shema, but with the tefillin was very meticulous. So I later on explain this guy by. So there is no problem to I don't say blessing, but he said no. The thing is that you confuse other people. So other people do not know. They look at you and they're going to say blessing on that feeling. So then I stopped because whatever he said is what actually makes sense. Even though he announced everybody who comes, he announced the earliest tefillin, I don't know, 6:15, whatever.
So no authorities agree that you can do it after nightfall.
No. There are some authorities who said that you can do it even during the night.
Yeah.
But we're afraid that he's going to fall asleep with them. That's the issue.
So the main reason is just because they're afraid he's gonna fall asleep. So my question is then
cleanliness of the body. So basically, to tell the way it is, so we're afraid that he's going to pass gas.
Got it.
That's degradation.
Let's say he went to the bathroom and he had an energy drink. Then do all authorities agree that he can have put on tefillin or no?
Yes, I mean no. Okay, even you see there are some authorities who say that if he's not going to fall asleep, if he knows himself, he was sleeping the whole day, right? He has 3 coffees. He's not going to fall asleep, so there is no problem.
Got it.
But I mean, for example, this night, the Shavuos night that we were learning, I mean, people say it's the full night, whole night long. I say, you normal? It's like from the time you finish eating, so we ate like fast. I mean, not fast, but so we stopped 10:30. So at 10:30 we start learning. From 10:30 until I guess 3:30 or so. And then you have to prepare to go to the shul, say all of this blessing, stuff like that, So it's only for, I don't know, how many, 5 hours? It's nothing. 5 hours. Okay, so, all right, so let's continue. Maybe we do one more, see if. So it's number 23. The wearing of tefillin requires that one maintains a clean body. Okay, here we go. And one must therefore be careful not to pass gas while wearing them. That's very interesting. Commentaries say, regarding the requirements for the clean body, the recited is Shema and Shmona Esrei. Okay, see in another place. It's actually CF number 12, so we're going to get to it. In entertaining lustful thoughts, while always forbidden, is also considered a violation of the requirement to maintain clean body. Just thoughts are not allowed while wearing tefillin. Go ahead.
A question. What about let's say someone sneezes? Not allowed?
No, there is no problem. Sneezes, there is no problem. It's not considered to be like a filth or something.
Okay.
Okay, continue. So, see Mishnah Berurah. So basically, so when he said has this sort of sinful thoughts, or he has a passing gas, so the proper way to cover tefillin.
Got it.
And that's it. Okay. So continue. If one falls
cover to fill in the arm to fill in if it has the like the protection on it or no?
No, yeah, cover with a sleeve.
Okay, so you still.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be hidden. So I mean, protection is to make sure that the corners are straight.
Got it. Understood.
If one falls victim of such thoughts, okay, here we go. He's obligated to desist from them and concentrate instead of the thoughts of fear of heaven. Fear of heaven. Very interesting, right? So, very important. Fear of heaven is number 1. Okay. So, continue. Therefore, one who suffers from the intestinal disorder that will cause flatulence, right? Even if he is not experiences pain, is exempt from obligation to wear tefillin. So basically, if like the stomach problem has to go to the bathroom, he has to pass gas. Okay, because he cannot properly watch himself to maintain clean body, especially like maybe they say, for example, he suffered from diarrhea. I mean, he has to run like every 5 seconds to do the bath. Okay, so this example from obligation to wear tefillin. Commentary. It is also actually forbidden for him to put them on this condition. Mishnah Brura. So basically, in this condition, he knows for sure it's going to happen. It's not maybe yes, maybe no. He has this problem the whole morning. You understand? So it's for sure. That's mitzvah for him not to put tefillin. However, if it seems to him that he can maintain a clean body for the duration of the recitation of the Shema and the prayer of Shmona Esrei, he should put them on just for that time. So that's how we started CF, right? That's the minimum requirement. Commentary: he puts the on tefillin between the blessing of Israel ba'ahava. So it's this blessing. It's right before the Shema. So when we say this blessing, Israel ba'ahava, everybody says Amen. Some people do not say Amen, and then you say Shema Israel. So they say right between this blessing and when you say actual Shema verse, put this tefillin. I mean, to make the time as short as possible, and recite blessing of the tefillin. Okay, so in this case, since in many communities they do say Amen, right? So it is actually allowed for him to say this blessing of tefillin. Continue. However, regarding person with another illness, the law is as follows: if he feels pain due to his illness and does not have a clear mind due to his pain, he's exempt from obligation of the wear tefillin. I mean, God forbid somebody is in pain, right? Because of the mitzvah of tefillin requires one to not divert attention from them. So basically, as we said last time, so it's proper for a person to check his tefillin as often as possible. You understand? So if he's in pain, he does not pay attention. So we're almost done. So commentators say this level of distraction is enough to exempt the person from the obligation, but does not forbid him to wear them. So I mean, he can do it, but he's not obligated. Therefore, if he wishes to put them on, despite this distraction, okay. So if he wishes, he may put it on. Okay. Last sentence. But if he is not suffering to such extent, then it is obligated. Then he is obligated to put that tefillin despite his illness. I mean, if there is a pain, but he can still concentrate. He can still blessings, and as you said, tefillin is like antenna, right? That connects us to HaShem. So, I mean, that's what it's proper to do. And HaShem. So if you want, I am going to send you. If you want, these pages from Mislat Yesharim. You have Mislat Yesharim, correct?
Yeah.
So I'm going to chapter 19 that teaches what Hasidus. Ooh, the real Hasidus. So, and it says in a part of what you would not believe, in a part of love of Hashem, it says zealousness, to be zealous. One of the parts of Hashem, to be zealous with all of these people, and it says you must rebuke. If you do not rebuke, you're not Hasid. And you're going to see. I'm going to send it to you, and you see it with black on white.
What you have to show me is because these people said, yeah, rebuke is good, but it has to be.
But they don't
love.
Exactly. No, but as you said, since it is recorded, we're not going. Going to name names or who was it, but you said that you care about the person. It bothers you deep inside about the person. So if you do not care about the person, you would not do that. You understand? For sure, you're trying to do it for love, with love, from love, right? That was your motivation. That's exactly what Hasidus is. You're going because it bothers you. The sin of another Jew bothers Hashem, and Hashem is your father, and it bothers you. That's Hasidus, the real Hasidus.
I have one idea for you. It's a big stringency, I would say. So let's say, there are many opinions on certain halachot, correct? There's
Okay, but there are many opinions, but we don't know what to go by. Okay.
yeah, of course. But let's say you agree with one opinion, right, and you say all the others are wrong. Let's just say you always paskin as this person, as this rabbi, okay? Through not because you like not because you like the rabbi, because you read the Gemara and everything like that, and then you got to the same conclusion as him. Okay, we'll say it that way.
Okay.
So my question is now, but for example, in our laws of Shabbos books, many times it says, if you need to, you can go by a different opinion.
Yes.
So my thing is, if you say that opinion, that other opinion isn't the Torah, to you at least, to let's say to another group who believes that's the Torah, correct? Then it's correct because HaShem loves his sages and so on and so forth, and if people follow a certain sage, inherently not be then it's correct. My thing is when a person thinks this rabbi is wrong and so doesn't go by him, but out of leniency he has the chance to go by him. Is it, if you think about it, is it still okay because he thought it wasn't the same Torah? He thinks that his way of thinking, the rabbi's way of thinking, doesn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay, so let me explain.
Uh-huh.
It's like the foundation of what you're asking. So basically, everybody agree. So let's say there are 100 rabbis, right? 100 people. So all 100 agree that if you go by stringency, whatever we said, everybody that's a proper way. What's wrong?
Mm-hmm.
But some of them say in certain situations you can go like this. So let's say 20. So if you go by stringency, you go by 100%, 100 rabbis. So when you're in a court of Shemaim, so 100 this rabbi step forward and say he did according to what we say.
Yeah.
And then and as a halacha, only two or three authorities come forward. 97 are against it. Are the rabbis? Are they kosher? 100% kosher. But all other 97 say don't do it unless you're under like certain circumstances and like you remember when we were learning about Havdalah and maybe he's going to get the wine maybe by Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon he has to fast. He does not have to fast. If he knows that he's going to get the wine or he can have beer, like all of these things, like the proper way to be prepared before that. Don't start with Shabbos before you get all of the wine. You understand?
Yeah.
So but it's after the fact. So like we need to know all of these leniencies in case of the person. So he still observes Shabbos. He did not break any rule. There is some authorities to go by, but we cannot like force him to go like strict with a stringency.
Uh-huh.
Right. For myself, most of the time I go by stricter opinion, but
of course.
You see, no, I'm tell you what. So when you start doing all of the strict therapy, it's not a problem for you. You understand? You got used to it. That's the proper way. But on the other hand, for other people are going to ask you, and the other people are going to rely on your knowledge. So you must know. It's not have. You must know all of the other opinions. So for them not to be Michal Shabbos.
Mm-hmm.
And even the 3 authorities or 20 authorities out of the 100, they say, and they big poskim, they say that's allowed. So okay, it's allowed. Okay, there is no problem. Wow. But for you, I'm not going to do that. Wow. Unless there is some like circumstances.
Wow. Well, one more question.
Okay.
What's it called? In my school, we have a lot of kids who fell completely off the derech and are at this point complete heretics. Complete. So my question is, number one, what's the view of modern Hebrew? Because these people love modern Hebrew and they hate Yiddish. They hate Yiddish. They say Yiddish is what's it called? Hitler language. Blah blah blah. This Jews were in Germany before Hitler, but it's Hitler. So modern Hebrew, it's good or not good?
So modern Hebrew, so Rabbi Mizrahi actually sometime
Uh-huh.
he made this class on there is a book of one Hasid from Israel. So there are some, so all of these people, I think Ben Yehuda, I think he was named, he was not religious. This guy who invented the mother here was not religious. You understand? So he combined all these scholars, maybe like close
Uh-huh.
to him, and he would ask, I don't know in what language they was spoke. I'm not sure what country he was from. Maybe from Poland, from Russia. I'm not sure. So he basically they got all of the translation, but some words they intentionally they put the opposite of meaning, opposite, intentionally.
Understood.
You understand? So
uh,
and if in many words in Hebrew, modern Hebrew, it's from Russian.
uh-huh.
Like Rabbi Mizrahi with chupchik. He said, "Chup, you serious? Chupchik." Like or he was a musica. Like all of these words like it's I mean you see it the man-made language. I mean the base is
Yeah.
biblical Hebrew, but okay. But these boys, okay, I'm going to tell you what.
Uh-huh.
So about this school.
Uh-huh.
I know me personally. I know several people who went through that school. They're adults now.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
their
yeah.
30s and 40s or whatever.
Yeah.
They did not become big scholars. None of them, none of them that I know. But at
I
least they come to the shul from time to time, and all of them, Baruch HaShem, married Jews.
uh-huh.
So
See,
at least you have to give it this minimum to that school. So
uh,
some of them, but as the rabbi said, if you want to advance, nobody's stopping you. It's the best like
100.
classroom to start. You understand? But are the kids like you have to understand. Like we have this somebody on my block. I'm not going to say who, right? And this poor kid, right? Went to this modern yeshiva, mixed boys and girls.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. So, and uh, and uh, and she would come home. The parents not Shomer Shabbos. So this poor girl, she's confused. And on Pesach, she said, and mother said she knows all the laws. Don't think that we are ignorant. We pay a lot of money for that yeshiva. And on Pesach, Sarah, when she was a little, she comes and buy herself ice cream with all of this
Uh-huh.
wafer cone. You understand? On Pesach, chametz.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's I mean, it's not exactly always the kid's fault. It's the parents, the environment that there is no support. Not everybody is strong.
Mhm.
And say it's easy to be weak. I mean, right? And do
Mhm. Uh-huh.
unfortunately, but for us, we have to be strong.
In the school, there are really four categories of kids. Number one, we have a few complete Epicureans. Then we have the kids who are I like what Rabbi Mizrahi said. Tiflani. That's the term I use now. Half religious, half not religious. Then we have the kids who just don't know. Right? We have very, very few kids who actually want very, very few. I would say 2, 3 maximum.
Okay, all right. So
But
stick with them. Stick
yeah,
with them.
some kids. Oh, what's it called? So the rabbi there, big Kiruv rabbi. He gets snacks, right? And then he asks the kids, "Come make bracha, come make bracha." Just for them to make a bracha, he gets everything. Now, he has kids who he got to become frum, and they actually moved to Lakewood, and some of them stayed in Israel, and so on and so forth. One of them is the secretary to the Rosh Yeshiva in Lakewood now. So there are a few high ones.
So it's all that depends on the person. So it says very interesting. I learned this shvuas. So we're learning Nefesh Chaim,
Uh-huh.
and it says that this
Uh-huh.
extra soul that only tzaddikim are getting on Shabbos. So this extra soul, meaning that the way I understood, like the statement that only if person wants to get this, if he's going to absorb the Shabbos, he's getting this extra soul to enjoy Shabbos. But if he's going to drive, he's going to do his bill. Why does he need this extra soul? It's going to stay there. It does exist, but it's not going to come down. Very interesting idea.
If he drives, he doesn't even need this soul.
Exactly. I mean, B'ezrat Hashem, while he still has the soul in him, he can still do a teshuva.
Of course.
Teshuva, the door is never closed, but this extra soul for Shabbos, he does not. At this point, he does not need.
Yeah.
You understand? So, all right.
Okay, Rabbi.
All right. So, good night.
Good night.
Until tomorrow.
Yes.
אני מברך את הרבנים, רגע. אני מברך את הרבנים, הרב ירון ראובן, הרב אפרים כחלון, ראשי ארגון בעזרת השם, שהלכו בפי עליון, שעלו מעלה, יהיה להם ברכה והצלחה, הקדוש ברוך הוא ימלא בישועות ליבם לטובה ולברכה, שבכל מה שיפנו ישכילו ויצליחו, יזכו עוד לעשות כאלה וכאלה, הודיעו תורה לאדירה, אמן ואמן.
בעזרת השם רשת בכל הארץ. הוא היהודי הזה, הוא היה מיליונר, סגר את כל הביזנס, אמר אני משקיע פה בעולמה של תורה.
איפה הוא גר?
בפלורידה.
פלורידה, איפה זה פלורידה? באמריקה.
במיימי. כן, ליד. אנחנו שם עכשיו הולכים להקים קהילה ספרדית גדולה.
תעבירו מה שבירכתי אותו.
כן, קהילה ספרדית גדולה.